Welcome to the Salty Chip Podcast, where you're always coming back for more, with your hosts Mackenzie and Isaac.
Okay, welcome back to the podcast, and we are on our last episode of Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition. This is the one with Wendy Osef and Aletha Shapiro. So they portray this mother who has an older daughter. I think she's 19, right? She's like,
I don't know
out
about
of the
19.
house.
She's driving. I think she's like driving. Okay. I think she's still in high school, but she drives herself to school. Okay. And I think drives the brothers or whatever around.
Okay. So she has an older daughter and then two kind of like younger
boys.
Kids. Yeah, younger sons. And they are doing the low demand parenting right now because they all used to live in, I believe it was New York City.
Yeah.
And she used to be like the big PTA mom, hand sewed all the costumes for plays.
Probably very similar to kind of how they portrayed Wendy's life, like up at 5:30, kids are up at this time, off to school at that time.
Yeah, very structured.
This after school program, then this, then we're here, you know.
Yeah, she said that they were booked out 8 weeks in advance, like with play dates, sports, everything like that. And was considered like the best mom. That's what her daughter said. So now they're doing low demand parenting. They've moved out of the city, and the mom said that she has major burnout, and she mainly likes to crochet
and hang out with her ferrets.
Hang out with the ferrets, be online, sleep till 12.
Yeah, sleeps till noon. Yes. Like she's like totally burned out and is just like not doing anything now.
Yeah, so the dad like helps takes the sons to school and is like, I guess, kind of more the involved parent. I think he also works
He's like doing all the laundry.
Yeah,
I think he's the one working, making everything go.
And so the daughter says it's like really strange to see her mom like this because it's polar opposite of the childhood that she had.
Yeah.
When like she was the age at where her
when she was the age her
are.
brothers were, it was like totally different mom experience.
Yeah. So it's like just kind of weird to see your mom switch.
Yeah.
Like to be very different. And when the women come back together, Wendy really does like lay it on her.
Yeah, it was very much her like lecturing her, which like I feel like that was kind of a common theme of like all of the house or the wife swaps they did with the housewives. It's like very much framed as this, the housewives have all this wisdom to instill on the normal wives. And I feel like it should have been framed the reverse. Like the housewives have way more to learn from the normal wives than the normal wives have to learn from the housewives.
Yeah.
You know, but it was always framed where they're like lecturing them on how they need to be better moms or better this. And it's like, I don't know. I didn't really, it was just kind of like, I don't know. I didn't like that very much.
It was an interesting aspect of how production edited, you know?
And Wendy's was very much like that.
Yes.
Her lecturing her like crazy, you know?
Basically, she said you need to get it together, put more effort in. Your boys are pretty much raising themselves. Your husband has like no spouse.
Your daughter is the mother of the house. You know, like really just laying it on her.
And Wendy's family did like having their new mom there. They liked a more relaxing environment. Yeah. Like you said before, it is more structured at her house. And I think the kids are out of the house a lot. You know, school, sports.
Oh, yeah.
You know, meetups, all of that stuff.
I mean, she's got the house empty by 7:30, you know?
Yeah. And so they enjoyed just the more relaxed environment and the arts and crafts and spending more family time and quality time. And I think Eddie enjoyed her too. I didn't think that he had like any major issues.
No, it seemed like there was with them like no conflict of rule change or anything, you know, like or feeling like, oh, these rules, you know, everybody seemed like they got along great. It was all smooth, you know?
Well, so now that Wife Swap has been released and people have viewed this episode, the family, Aletha Shapiro family has come out and said that it was a defamatory editing and that they did not share her autism and ADHD diagnosis, and they decided to kind of cut that out. So it portrayed her as this like maybe lazy mom who is very checked out.
Which, you know, like honestly, I I get what she's saying. I feel like she shouldn't have even brought in the whole autism ADHD thing. She should have just said they cut it not how it was. Like there's a lot of narrative in the cutting they do, just like there was with the Callie episode. You know, so like with after Callie and this one, and then her talking about it, it's very apparent that there is a lot of narrative building in the editing that probably wasn't actually happening. Like, without the editing, that's not how it was. Yeah. You know? Yeah. But I think she's going to lose it bringing it in saying, oh, it's because of my ADHD or autism or whatever, when it's like, now it seems more of a personal vendetta kind of thing she has, where otherwise I feel like it was a valid criticism if she was just like, hey, they cut it not really clearly how it was. Right. And I think a good example of it, the event she planned for them, like on her day when she had the rules, it was like that nice horse riding thing with a whole picnic and champagne. Like that was not some frumpy mom who doesn't know how to plan anything put that together. Like that was obviously a very well planned thing. Like, you know,
I think she's suffering more from burnout, because people who have ADHD and autism can function and take care of their family and show up for their kids and show love, empathy, support, not sleep all day and just crochet and cocoon themselves. That, you know, I'm not a doctor, but that does seem more like burnout, you know, trying to heal from burnout. And that's literally what she said in the episode is, I do the crocheting, I sleep all day, and I just stay on my phone because of the burnout.
Yeah, like she was living crazy structure, like Max in New York, like, you know, where I'm sure it's also major keeping up with the Joneses and all that kind of stress as well. Like the daughter's like probably 12 years, over a decade, you know, kind of thing. And who knows how long they've been in New Jersey now. But yeah, I agree. She have just kept it all she just burned out and was like just at like a low point of like trying to sort of
which is totally understandable.
And come back, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing all of that PTA, sewing costumes, all of that. Like,
and they
of
framed
course that's exhausting.
Yes, in the show they framed it like she's been this sleeping till noon mom forever. Mm-hmm. And that's like who she is, and she knows no different and can't comprehend how to be planned, so it's going to be this big life shock when she's like, she probably was for the show playing it up like, oh, this sucks, it's back to structure, but she was probably thinking, I was even more structured than this. Yeah. Especially if she's really like autistic and ADHD, she's probably like on a very big level, the structure and the regimenting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it is interesting. I wonder if she's going to like try to sue the network, because it says defamatory editing. So I'm like, is she trying to take on a defamatory case?
I hope not. I'm sure they signed tons of papers saying they can't. And again, she's going to lose all the audience going straight to, oh, it was defamatory. When she should have just been like, they edit it in a way that paints a narrative that's not true. Yeah. That's it, you know, but when you start using like defamatory, you're liable, you know, all these like big legal words, it's like, what are you doing? You know, like you're going to lose everyone who would agree with you because you're taking it too far.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. Well, I think in all, the Housewives Wife Swap series was really fun to watch.
It was.
I think Angie definitely got the worst home situation.
For sure.
Like no running water, no...
By a long shot.
Yeah. No electricity, the off-grid, but she handled it very well. Yeah. And she ended up having the family over to her house for the premiere of their wife swap episode. Nice. So I thought that was like very cool of her. I don't think any of the other wives reached out to these other wives after filming. It doesn't seem like Emily did, because what she said on the reunion, like, this guy did nothing, you know, talking about the husband, like putting him down.
For sure.
You know, so I don't think that there was much communication after filming with them.
No.
And as we know, Callie Svensson, the wife that she swapped with, is like an influencer, and you know the way that they filmed their episode as well was, you know, in a certain way, like you know, making the husband look like he literally doesn't know how to make a sandwich. Yeah.
And Callie's some, Handmaid's Tale or whatever,
Yeah.
trapped in the household, has no freedom to do anything.
Yeah.
Lucky if she can even have a meal or
Right.
something. When it's like,
And that's not the case at all. They've been
Yeah.
on 3 reality TV shows. They've been, she has a following on TikTok and
Had a
Instagram.
huge weight loss blog
Yeah.
and journey, so it's like,
Yeah.
no, you've been like a content creator, online person,
Yeah.
dabbling in this for
Right.
years and years. Like, you're
Right.
not some battered housewife who's like been restricted to the farm and has to deal with all these animals. Like,
Right.
you're the one who wanted all the animals.
Yeah.
It's just
And then I felt
interesting.
like Melissa and Joe Gorga's wife swap, that went well. There was nothing major except maybe the vegan aspect.
Yeah, there's, I feel like it seemed like it was almost maybe like filmed in less time than the other ones, because it was really just like about cooking. I feel like their whole one, like, oh, what are we gonna do for meals? Like, that was it,
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like it was almost filmed in like a shorter window than the others, where there's like more to the story going on.
Well, I did think it was like she threw a little shade to Melissa, because she said anyone who hangs out with Melissa is paid. And it's like, well, yeah, 'cause she's working all day.
Yeah, for sure.
But I did find that to be like kind of a funny little thing. That...
No, yeah, it's definitely
It's
like
well,
a little
yeah,
shady.
these rich people aren't hanging out with their buddies all day. She's working.
That's kind of what I'm saying of like, the housewives have more to learn from the normal wives than the other way around, like, because of things like that. Like, they're in this very manicured world where they run the show and it's all about them, which is great for them. They built that life, but that's not how most people's lives are.
Right.
Like, and the point of the wife swap show is sort of that, the jarring differences, kind of thing.
Right.
So I wish they just did it in reverse, where it was more about what can the housewives learn from the normal wives,
Right.
I think that would have been better. But overall, like, I think it was a really good show, and I hope they do it again, and I hope they make it longer, more than 2 days. Make them spend a week, dude. Like,
I don't even think they can get a housewife to sign on for a week.
I bet they can, but they should. I think it would make it so much better.
Yeah.
And it would be more of what you're trying to capture with wife swap.
Right.
Like
staying true to the traditional wife swap, how it came out and everything.
And how that's like when the difference is really set in. Instead of living by the other person's rules for really 12 hours, because they're going to sleep for half of them, kind of thing. Like, give them a couple days of it. Like, day 2 is when it really sinks in. Day 3 is when you're like, holy crap, this is crazy. And with the kids and the husbands, like, I think it would just be better.
That's when you always used to see it kind of go unhinged. Like a couple days in, because you can keep your mask on and your face on for a little bit, but after that, like, 36, 48 hours, you're like, okay, I'm ready for this person to go.
The original, it was a full week. In some of the episodes, by the end of the week, they're like ready to kill their new wife or something. It's the differences are so strong that it's I don't know. I think it just would make better TV. But it was good. I enjoyed the show.
I agree. I think that they should keep on with the series, maybe release 4, things at a time, but go through even like old OG ones, maybe from New York,
for sure.
Because
just
that those
them,
ladies love doing little spin-off shows, but I think it would be fun, like,
you
series
can't
to
do
watch.
the OGs from New York because none of them are wives.
Oh,
the OGs of New York. It's like divorcees of New York.
Well, they might actually have a small pool then of actually married housewives.
I think you're right. Yeah,
because not many are actually married and have children at home.
True.
If they are married, maybe the children are like out of the home now or whatever. But yeah, finding an actually married housewife willing to do it,
who still is
young kids, that's hard.
That's tough.
Do you know who should do it? Is the New Jersey Jen.
Yeah. You
Jennifer.
mean with Bill?
With Bill.
Yeah, that would be a good one for sure.
Yeah,
that
especially
because
I don't think she's filming for
the New Jersey or whatever. Yeah, I mean they were just crashing and burning at the end there, man. They get so wasted, worming on the floor. It's like, oh my god.
They were.
Like, we need to get them off TV. This is gonna go bad.
It was crazy. And now we are moving into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This was a very intense episode, and it is the final day at sea for their below deck yacht trip. And they do yoga at 9 a.m. with Captain Jason. He's like, you know.
Yeah, leading the class.
Yeah, leading the class. And then 10 a.m. breakfast. And then ladies are, of course, loving the yoga class. And Heather especially is. I think that they probably did hook up. But Captain Jason, I think he went on Watch What Happens Live and said that they did not hook up. And then Heather was on after, and she was like, "Oh, is that what he's saying?"
I think so too. I think they did hook up, and I think they had an explicit agreement. Like they both said, "We will not say anything about this," which is kind of saying, "So if you do, I'm gonna deny it."
Yeah.
And she had the Freudian slip of trying to flex on Brittany of like, "Look, I got what you want."
Yeah.
You know,
I think so too.
And then she's like, "Oh crap!" And he's like, "Dude, our agreement was like, I'm gonna deny it," and I feel like for sure he will. Especially because she's on the boat saying it, and there's a level of professionalism, and he's like the captain, and it cannot be like, oh, the captain is banging the wives that come on the boat, you know, kind of thing. Like, so he's 100%. Like, hell no, it's never gonna be said, you know.
And it's like that, like, I'm not gonna kiss and tell kind of thing. Yeah, I think.
And I think Heather normally would be really good at it, but it was an ego thing with Brittany to rub it in her face, and she was like, oh. Shit. I shouldn't have said that, but like it was a total, because normally she wouldn't.
I don't think she would kiss and tell like that, but I think it was because Brittany wanted him, and she was like, I already got him,
and Brittany not even like just, oh, I think he's whatever. Like she was so thirsty for him,
like she was like actively trying to lure
and if
her
she did get him, she'd probably rub it in all of their faces and brag about it, you know. So like Heather is like just like I got what you wanted kind of thing, and it totally messed it up.
Yes. Okay, and then it pans to Meredith and Lisa in bed talking shit about Brittany, saying she thinks she's a Disney princess, has the brain aptitude of one, and she is disgusting, and refers to her as the Tin Man.
Yeah, just brainless.
Yeah.
And like they're definitely being like super mean girl, harsh. But like I kind of agree with them.
I think everyone agrees with that.
Yeah.
But they're obviously Meredith is still reeling about this TikTok that Brittany brought up, saying, "Well, I heard your husband is out with his mistress due to this TikTok that I saw." And so Meredith is now just like seeing red and on this
She's in that doom spiral.
Hate Whitney train, you know.
Brittany.
Yeah. And then she starts getting upset that Whitney was there and not shutting down the rumors for Meredith. And so Meredith says that now she's upset with Whitney as well.
Yeah.
So you can tell that she, like, mentally, like you said,
she's
is spiraling.
crashing out on
She's
it.
not doing well.
Even if like, because they've had kind of weird stuff with their relationship in the past where it's like, it seems like it's never been great.
Right.
It's always on the rocks a little bit, you know, kind of thing. So just hearing it, you know, she's like believing it, freaking out inside. Like I don't think she had ever heard it before Brittany had brought it up there. So she's like, doesn't even know what they're talking about, thinks it's probably true.
Right.
It's just like panic mode.
And remember at this time, like she hasn't seen this TikTok.
Yeah.
They haven't like Brittany showed Whitney the TikTok,
and
you know?
Yes.
But they didn't go show Meredith. This is the TikTok. They just told her about it.
And there's been so many years of infidelity, like those accusations that she's probably thinking, she doesn't know, is this the old thing that we've already covered? And it's like, oh no, this is already, you're just rehashing something old, or like, shit, is this something new that I don't even know about? And now it's like all this shit's kicking up again.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, there is just constant infidelity rumors with Seth and Meredith on both sides over the years.
I mean, didn't one season they were saying they were in an open relationship or something like that?
I think what was it, the end of the first season that she was on? Like she admitted to being
like they're both dating other people.
Yeah.
They weren't like divorced or anything, but like so they've always been in this weird, like you can tell it's just not been like rock solid marriage. We're partners, like, you know.
Yeah, and then recently, I think she's been like, we're not in an open marriage, right?
Well, yeah, because they were so weird on that season, and then the next season she came back and was like, we're good now, no open relationship, no New York boyfriends or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
It was so weird.
So weird.
But that's probably why it's so triggering.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then Bronwyn brings the uni that Jared gave Brittany into Meredith as like a sacrifice.
Yeah, like, hey, let's do something with this, you know.
And then it was Meredith's idea to like throw it off board. And then it was Bronwyn's idea.
No, it was Bronwyn's idea to throw it off board. Meredith was like, well, what are we supposed to do with it? What should we do with it? And then
I thought Meredith said, do you want to go for a swim? And then Bronwyn was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that is how it happened. I remember at the dock, though, Bronwyn kind of tries to take the blame for it all.
Yeah.
When Brittany's all pissed about it.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Maybe that is how
I think initially Meredith is like, want to go for a swim, uni?
Yeah.
And then Bronwyn was like, oh, yeah, that's great, but we need to be in costume.
Yeah.
So I think Bronwyn was the lobster and Meredith was the pink shark.
Uh-huh.
And they put on those blow-up outfits that Bronwyn likes to put on when she goes and meets Todd at the airport. And they walk through the boat, like, trying to be, you know, incognito. And then they go and throw off.
I mean, and Brittany should have known, bringing that uni on the boat, it was written in the stars at that moment, this thing's going in the ocean.
Yes.
This thing is going overboard. If anybody finds out this is on the boat, it's going overboard.
Right. She should have known.
Totally.
But, you know, I think... Obviously, when the ladies get caught for this, they're trying to play it off as this, like, funny little
we thought
moment.
you thought it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you didn't.
They think that she's dumb enough to buy it.
Well, she might be. I think, like, they're literally thinking she might be dumb enough to buy it.
Well, yeah. I mean, most people probably would think she would be, but she knew. I mean, you can just tell.
She was like, who threw this in?
Yeah.
Who threw this in?
Yeah.
Did you throw this in? Who threw my unicorn in?
Well, just if you're wondering, uni is okay because when we were at the Bravos, they brought it out and they played it for us. It was hilarious.
And it still works.
It still works. It's still intact. I am hoping and praying uni goes to the Bravo
It's
clubhouse.
for sure going to be in the clubhouse.
Like, that was gold. And so then we see the ladies are all sitting at breakfast, and it's so funny that Brittany and
Meredith are sitting right next to each other. It's like they totally planned that.
Yeah. And of course they start fighting about the TikTok, and then Meredith pans to Whitney, is like, I'm also mad at you for not shutting it down. And Whitney is like, I am not trying to get in the middle of it. I said you need to bring it to Meredith. She brought it to you. Yes, I did see the TikTok, but I didn't give it any light, you know. And so Whitney is just like caught off guard. And I think that people are kind of seeing that Meredith is really starting to react to
They can tell
this.
it's really gotten to, and they're like, oh, storms are brewing.
Yeah. And then they just continue fighting, screaming. I think that they fought every single meal that they've sat down.
Yeah, no, they did. It was like a blow-up fight literally every time they sat at that table.
And the crew is like, these are the loudest people ever. They never stop
crazy.
yelling. Like, what is going on? And Mary even says it's all a disaster.
Yeah.
And then the ladies pack up and leave. You know, they hand them the tip. They say goodbye.
Yeah,
and
the
all
classic
of that stuff.
below deck goodbye. They're all lined up for them.
Yep. And then that's, you know, when they bring Uni back out and give
Brittany,
it back to Brittany. And then Brittany's all like,
Who did this?
No.
Who did this? Did you do this?
Yeah.
Did you do this?
And then you kind of see her walk away. And then it does its whole, like, panning to,
you know, something bad happened. It's like getting ominous in the editing.
Yes. And so basically, every single lady on the flight home, cameras are down, mics are off. This is like a 6 to 8 hour flight.
Yeah,
home.
long flight back.
And basically, Meredith and Lisa gang up and just torment.
They're both sitting like behind Brittany in first class supposedly and just reaming her the whole time.
Brittany the whole time, talking really loud about Brittany in a negative way.
Said they're shaking her chair.
Yeah, and like I think when one of them went up to get the bathroom, they like kind of like grasped the hair and
supposedly
pulled it.
Spilling wine on her.
Yeah,
like,
and then they were demanding her to hand over the TikTok, send them the fucking TikTok, and all of that. And every single other housewife, Mary, Heather, like all of them said anytime, Angie, all of them, anytime that they would like wake up or this or that, or they could overhear it, you know, and then knowing that most the crew or most the plane is full of crew, I think like a Bravo crew, I think no one stepped in.
Like none of the flight attendants.
None of the flight attendants
like,
stepped in because they're like, this is probably part of it all. Like we know these ladies
like they're
fight.
in a group. We know the whole production's here. So
like,
it must be under control.
Yeah. Obviously
know?
Things aren't going to get too out of control if production's here. They would say like, we need police.
They would come to us and say, hey, we got to move them or something.
Yeah, like is there an air marshal or whatever? Because Meredith, the lawyer that she is tight-lipped, saying nothing happened. I never engaged, never touched her, never spoke to her.
And she's making some good points of like, if it was really so crazy, why is there no recording? How come none of y'all whipped out your phones? If all y'all were so worried about her, how come none of y'all came and stopped us?
Yeah.
How come the flight people never came and stopped us? You know, so like, I totally believe it happened. And they didn't because all the reasons we just said. But she is definitely bolstering some good defenses. You know?
Right. And, you know, it's just one of those he said, she said things. And I think someone does have footage. I think we definitely will get something leaked in the future.
You would think Brittany recorded it. She recorded the bus for no reason.
Yeah.
So you think, and especially if it was going on 4 hours. I mean, my God, you'd think at hour 2 she'd be like, maybe I should record.
Yeah.
Hour 3, maybe I should record. You know,
Yeah.
like it's just weird.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people in our comment section are saying it's like NDAs and that's why nothing's been leaked. Right. And, you know, I bet it was bad. And they said when they landed, Brittany was like in full tears and
just getting rained.
Yeah.
And I think kind of a part of like why all the other women are being real intense about it. I bet they all have big regret that none of them did stop it.
Yeah.
So now they're like really trying to come down hard after the fact because they're like mad they didn't in the moment, so they're kind of trying to make up for it a little bit now, you know?
Right.
But I don't know.
And also, when the ladies get home, they all start going to lunch and meeting up with each other. And they fill Bronwyn in because Bronwyn was not on the plane. She took her own plane ride home because she was like already sick of all the ladies. And they fill her in, and it's just...
they're all meeting one-on-one to recap, be like, this is nuts, this is nuts.
And like when Mary meets with Meredith, and Meredith is like, nope, nothing happened. It was totally fine. And Mary is like, it's scary to me that you're believing this because that is not what happened. Like you are not in reality. And so it's now been alluded that she had maybe been mixing sleeping pills with drinking, and that maybe she doesn't recall it the way that it actually happened.
1,000%. And I bet she's not going to recall it the way it happened, even if she was stone cold sober, because their egos are so big that they'll like just misremember everything to justify, you know?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if she was on a little something. I mean, she's always like,
she's always on,
like just how she moves, it's like it looks like a lady who's taking a lot of Xanax or something. you know, like
she definitely.
Or maybe if she doesn't take it now, has taken a lot in the past. You know, there's people who take a ton of that for a long time. They're like kind of residually a little weird. You know?
No, I totally get that. I think she definitely was mixing something, and I think most housewives took something before,
and especially on this huge long flight. I'm sure half of them were on Ambien or something.
Yeah,
you know,
right. Exactly. But then when Bronwyn meets up with Whitney, they have the most cringeworthy conversation about their marriages. And because when Bronwyn was coming back, it got leaked on Twitter or X, I guess, that someone sitting behind Todd saw him looking at women on his phone the whole
Like girls
flight.
were sending him pictures of them in lingerie.
Yeah, and like he was looking at them the whole flight. And the flight matches up, the time.
They knew his seat number, and it was his seat number.
Yeah, so Bronwyn believes it. So she sent Todd off. He wasn't allowed to spend the night at the house that night. And then the next day he left for a business trip. And so she believes it. And she was like, it would be different if he told me about it because I'd want to be the one to pick the girl.
It was so
for
cringe.
him.
He was like, I wish it was when Lisa brought up a rumor of Todd's doing this, I could say, yeah, I know, I picked her for him. It's like, no, you don't. And nobody is believing that crap.
Yeah.
Like, the levels of cope in this conversation.
Well, it just doesn't add up. If you didn't care, why'd you send him to a hotel room?
Yeah, the whole thing.
It just doesn't make sense. If you didn't care, you'd say, oh, that's so cool. What are we having for dinner? Let's watch a movie.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you clearly aren't cool with it.
Totally.
You know?
It was so cringe.
It was. And then Whitney adds on top that, you know, she was wanting to step out on her marriage. And
she's
Justin,
a wild girl, and sometimes she just has needs, and she needs to communicate it with Justin. It was just like, this is so freaking cringe.
Right. And then Justin has wanted to step out, and that they were maybe, you know, on the rocks.
Yeah.
And it just was really weird conversation for these middle-aged, married, have kids, you know.
But, and it was
more
just,
so for Whitney because her kids are younger still.
It was just, you could just see it from a mile away. This is not how they actually feel. They're trying to like be cool or spin this as some kind of thing, but it's like, this is not how they feel. This is not what they want.
Right.
They're trying to act like it's cool when it's like, no, just be honest. Like, you hate this, Bronwyn. This is like your nightmare, dude.
Right.
You know, like, you would never tell Gwen to put up with this.
Right.
Or anything, you know?
No,
so don't
I doubt
play
that.
on TV that it's cool, because some other women are going to say, oh, I guess it's... Even though they don't think it's cool. You know, it's just like, this is bullshit. Y'all don't like any of this? So say it, you know?
It was
like,
so weird. They're just trying to be cool, and
yeah,
because open marriages are in now.
It was just cope. It was
just
maximum
weird.
cope.
Yeah.
You know?
And then it was interesting because Lisa, talking to her husband in the car, says Meredith lost her mind on that flight. And then when she gets in front of the women, she kind of like changes her
kind of
tune.
backtracks it of like, Meredith never said anything to Brittany. She was just talking to me about the video.
Yeah.
We wanted to see the video.
And they said it was just a 15-minute conversation.
Yeah,
and people
that was
were like,
Meredith.
it was 4 hours.
They were like, I was listening to it, fell asleep, woke up, y'all were still going, fell asleep again, woke up, y'all were still going. You know, like.
Right. It was so interesting.
It's crazy.
Like, their two versions of the truth, like, just seem so far from it, you know?
That's how you know they're lying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like.
And it's weird because, like, they're not really allies, but then this thing happens and they're just, like, glued together now.
Well, it's like that thing. They were once super big allies. Mm-hmm. It's never been the same since the, you know, cheating whore in New York hot mic moment.
Yeah.
But they're, like, kind of trying to get back to that similar place, but it's just, you know, like, so when they have a common enemy, they can, like, get back. But they're not really friends, you know?
Yeah. No, I don't think that they're true friends. I think that broke.
That broke it.
Yeah.
It was done from there.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Because that was just total. It was said with so much hate and rage, you know it was all true. Yeah. You know? Like, it was a Freudian, a real hot mic moment.
Right.
Like,
it really was.
Oof.
It was. So, yeah. And then it just ends with Mary, you know, her conversation with Meredith and Meredith denying everything. And it will be interesting to see what this next episode brings
I'm sure they're going to be confronting her more. We'll watch it all unravel. You know?
Because I think we're more than halfway over.
Oh, yeah. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 left.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting close to the end.
Yeah. Now we're rolling into Real Housewives Orange County. This is the second reunion of season 19. So basically, I feel like Tamra sees Gretchen and Jen as a threat. And that's why she thinks and says over and over and over that they want to be her, that they live their life just how she's lived theirs, and that they want to look like her. And Andy's like, no offense, but there's a blonde hair, big boob, small waist look going on in LAOC. Like, your look isn't
You're not the first
unique.
blonde fit girl in Orange County.
Yeah,
okay,
like your look is actually the uniform of a basic Cali girl.
Yeah, for sure. Standard issue.
Yeah, like Tamra, you're not special. Yeah. You're one of many of these.
And that's not knocking any of that. No. It's knocking her acting like she's the only person who can be like that.
Yeah.
and everything's always about her. It's like her ego's so crazy. Something huge is going on and she's like, no, this is all about me actually. Yeah. It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, and she does. She says many, many times, and she tells all the other housewives how obsessed Jen is with her and how Jen wants to, wear her hair extensions. When that whole story, Jen has already said, dude, the lady said Tamra was just in here. Here are her extensions. Look how,
And it's just a classic example of why Heather and Emily say, we can't trust you at all, Tamra. Jen does a joke that she sends to Tamra because it's a joke. It's funny. Hey, look, I have your hair, and that's funny.
And then it gets weaponized. Even placed in her hair. It was held up next to it.
It was 100% obvious. Yeah. This is silly. Isn't this funny? And then Tamra, later reframes it as, you're obsessed with me. You want to be me. You start doing everything to look like me.
You went to my salon and had my old extensions put into your hair. It makes it sound like she went and was like, give me Tamra's hair, and that she went and sewed them in, which is not at all what happened. And she has
pictures of Tamra on her house on Becker Lane or whatever, that Tamra doesn't even live at the, Tamra, she's like, you moved right next to me. Did you live there at the time? No. Yeah. What are you even talking about, Tamra?
It's like, I'm sure many of the same women in the same pay grade live in the same areas.
Yes. That's like kind of part of the whole show is like it's small world up there for y'all, like it's just.
Right. And that y'all live near each other.
Yeah, right? Like you're on the same show for the same area. Yeah. I hope all y'all live pretty close to each other. Right. Like otherwise, what the heck?
So just... Tamra's claims are just so narcissistic and self-feeding.
And manipulative. She always twists them to be different than what they actually were to use it to hurt them in the moment. Yeah. And then she's shocked when they're like, I won't trust you with stuff. Yeah. Because you'll take something that's not even me being vulnerable and confidence, me just being silly, doing a joke, you're going to use that against me somehow, Well,
and then Tamra brings up another rumor that she's heard of Jen, that Jen actually cheated on her husband Will twice, not just once with Ryan. So she cheated with Ryan and then left her husband, and now her and Ryan are engaged. Well, Tamra's saying, well, no, there's a second guy, and it was an instructor at your old yoga studio. And she was like, this is just absolutely false. This is not true at all. And even when she says that, Tamra's like, nope, it's still true, and it's just like, can you move on? I mean, Tamra, you've been with Jeff Timmons, you've been with Eddie while you were still married, like you've been with other people, like
it's crazy, they just hammer Jen and Ryan so hard for so long, and like all the crap they've sort of said would happen haven't happened. Yeah. So it's like,
and they're
y'all just need to shut up about that. Yeah. Like they just look better and better, and y'all look like dumb. Worse.
Because they're mad about that. Yeah. They're mad that it didn't shape out, and that he hasn't ditched her yet.
He hasn't ditched her. He's not arrested by the FBI, or and even
she's not like homeless living under a bridge.
Yeah. Or he's not gonna leave her and cheat on her. Like it's like they all need to lay off Ryan. Like he's loves her, took in all of her kids. Even their own dad says, you're better to these kids than I am. Thank you.
They took over 100% custody.
He's paying for everything, and they're just crapping all over him. It's like, dude, y'all are all jealous of Jen and Ryan. I swear, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I am sure.
And don't forget, Tamara wanted Ryan.
Yeah.
She had to settle for Eddie, and she's pissed about that, you know?
That is very true. She did want Ryan, and he wouldn't go for her.
He wanted Jen.
Oh, man. Well, like you said, Jen and Ryan did meet up with Will, her ex-husband, who handed over full custody, and he did admit to everything in saying, you know, Jen's right, you know, I wasn't a good husband, father, all of that. And she said it was very awkward, but she was happy it happened.
It was like a awkward but like good real conversation.
Yeah.
He thanked Ryan for like stepping up for all the kids and like being what he does for them, you know.
Yeah. And then you hear Shannon and Gina talk about Gina, you know, is worried about Shannon with the drinking stuff this year. And like that kind of came up again. Shannon's drinking once again. And Shannon's like, well, if you're so worried, then why don't you reach out and call me? You know, and Gina's like, yeah, that's true. But I just like worry about you in general.
I think Shannon sort of was just being defensive because Tamara was going crazy on her drinking last season that she took it like that. But to me, I don't think Jean, when she says she's worried, just like in what you said, in general, like it'd be pretty, Shannon alone in the world is kind of a scary thought, you know? She's like bumbling around, worried. Like, you know, like
you fall just by walking like a straight line. Like, how can we not be worried about you?
And your picker sucks.
Yeah.
You pick these guys who suck, who sue you for $75,000. You know, like, it's like, I would be a little worried, like, if that's, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And then, you know, Gina acknowledges it, and then they kind of move on. And then it comes up about Heather's comments about her wanting to get back into comedy or sitcom or just
and Gina
whatever
making
it
light
is.
of it.
And Gina making, and they play it back, and it is. She is just straight up, she's basically calling her old, not funny, you know, and she's like doing it in this laughy way, but putting her down.
Yeah, it's totally putting her down, like I would describe it as like cheeky almost, you know, but it's for sure like not being nice. You know,
so
but she's not like, Heather's an idiot. Why would she think? You know, it was very like tongue-in-cheek,
playful. And Heather said, out of anyone, I thought you would understand what it takes for a housewife to kind of restart their career.
And just understand it's scary whenever you try something and you put yourself out there. Like when you started your real estate thing, I'm sure that was scary. You're putting yourself out there. Like you will have failures and they will be public, you know, kind of thing.
And don't you want your girlfriends lifting you up saying, that's great, instead of being like, ha 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 ha, oh my God, she's trying that. What a loser.
It's that classic, you know? Like, who needs enemies when you got friends like these? You know, like.
Right.
You know,
for sure. So Andy does stand up for Heather, and he says, you know, she is the only one on this cast who has ever been in multiple sitcoms. Like
multiple, you know. Like,
so it's like very true, ladies.
Like she has a way bigger career than everyone here.
Yeah, she's not good enough, but she's done more than all of y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just funny how people will do that too. Just
it's because like Heather and Terry are winners. Yeah. And people don't like when people win all the time. Yeah. Especially when the same person wins all the time. And they win in a lot of aspects of their, like, they are winners. If you could bet on them, I'd bet on them. That they will keep winning, you know? Yeah. And a lot of the other housewives, their stories is kind of their life imploding.
Yeah, they're downfall.
They want that for Heather and Terry, you know, but they're like winners, you know.
I know, it's undeniable.
It is.
It just is.
It's straight up, you know.
Yeah, he's a catch for sure, and so is she.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're a match. They are both winners. They're both always good to each other, like publicly, don't do anything weird, don't have any crazy scandals. Rip apart their kids
on national TV.
Yeah, you know.
So then what do we think of Gretchen's themed outfits, like the Tomb Raider with the long braid or the Little House on the Prairie looks? What are we thinking? The whole Barbie and pink looks. She likes to play into the theme. A lot of people are hating against it. Is it just because it's her?
I think it's just because it's her.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Because Bronwyn does a theme too. And outfits and all of that.
And all of them, especially one time or another, have definitely done that kind of stuff, but it's definitely just about like hating Gretchen.
Yeah.
Like,
And I would say most of their outfits that they film in, like, aren't outfits that you would just wear normally.
No.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Like, you wouldn't just normally on a Tuesday while you're cleaning the house and doing the dishes wearing this like $600 dress.
For sure. For sure.
But that's like what they wear for brunch or for this or for that, So I feel
and it's true because it's, I mean, at least with Bronwyn especially, she lied about the whole jewelry thing.
Yeah.
So they will intentionally paint a perception that's not true.
Yeah.
For sure. That they want you to think.
Yeah. So what do you think about Shane's reaction to the male stripper humping Emily, the like pan too?
I think his reaction was honestly like good. Like he just knew like this. It was all for TV.
Yeah.
It was filmed on TV, so it wasn't like this malicious thing she set out to do.
Further. Yeah.
And he knows like this is what we've signed up. This is like our life.
It can get a little carried away on those like bachelor parties. And the stripper was like,
of course he wasn't happy
like,
about it. Of course he didn't like it, but it's like, he's like, I mean, what's going to come out of the, he just knows like,
I'm just going to let it go. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I hated every second of that.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not going to make it this huge. We have enough problems we're dealing with. And I know at the end of the day, that was like you didn't
TV.
Set out to go to a strip club and get dry humped or whatever. Like it was all produced.
It was for TV. So then Naked Wasted is brought up. And Andy says like this whole thing is very confusing, like just for everyone, right? But they go over the lie detector results, and Katie is sad. Jen didn't support or stick up for her during it at all, and Katie felt like she was hanging out to dry by Jen.
And not even just like say it's totally back me up, but just to totally not say anything at all.
Right.
And not even be like, oh, maybe we should give her a little grace or something. Just was totally zip it, dead silent. Left her to the wolves,
right. Yeah, she did. And Jen does say, I'm in the same position as you. Like, I can easily just get ousted by this group as her. And I think Jen didn't say anything is because her first season, she was ousted by Tamara. And it was so traumatic for her dealing with Tamara and all of it that I don't think she wanted to get back into that again.
No, and we called it. And also, like, last season, she couldn't even pay her rent. So she, like, if somebody wanted to get litigious, even if they wouldn't win, she can't afford the process of just dealing with it.
Right.
So she's like totally staying silent. Like
right.
there is nothing good that is going to come for me of any of this, and only really bad can happen.
Yeah. No, I agree. And so when it comes to Naked Wasted, this is kind of the short rundown of what happened from everyone's understanding. So Gretchen, Jen, and Katie, they all go out to dinner with their spouses.
And Mastro's.
Yes.
Before the show airs and before Gretchen is even signed.
Yes. And they're all just, I think, talking kind of shit about people who are on the cast. It seems like Tamara was brought up, and it all came about because they were showing an example of how
I think that was the context. It was to paint how Matt described it. It was a cautionary tale of what kind of things can happen dealing with Tamara.
With Tamara, yeah. And so they said, we were over there. She wanted to get me naked, wasted, and I felt so drunk. I felt like I had to go to the hospital. And Jen took it that way, and Katie took it a different way.
I bet she said, she was telling the cautionary tale of Tamara, and again, she's not thinking she's going to be on the show. She's not thinking any of this. So I'm sure she's smoozing it up, just telling a good story at dinner with friends. really getting her point across, you know?
Yeah, so do you think she did say, I
1000%.
was drugged
1000%.
and went to the hospital?
I think so.
Or you think Katie kind of heard it a
No,
different way?
I think she 1000% said it, and she told Jen to say, this is what I said.
Yeah.
And Jen, again, like we just said, she's in no position to be like making major enemies like this,
Right.
especially with people who could be litigious or whatever.
Right.
Like, so she's, whatever you say, I'm saying.
Right.
You know? And that's what I think happened.
Yeah.
Because Gretchen said it again in the car on
She did
camera.
say it, yeah.
So it's like, either every time she brings it up, she misspeaks, or that's just how she tells the story, because people... she's telling a story. She wants it to be captivating. So she's going to embellish it or make it more grandiose or whatever than maybe it was.
So basically, you know, Katie and her husband are saying, like, you lied to us. You said that you got drugged, went to the hospital, but you didn't, because everyone was like, there would be proof. And Andy said, like, back then when it all happened, like, we would have all known. Like,
Yeah.
there would have been receipts shown. Like, you bet that we would have all known.
And whether she said, oh, I did go to the hospital, or I felt like I should have gone to the hospital, it almost doesn't even matter. Like, either way, it's still, Tamara got you so drunk, maliciously.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's the point.
Yeah.
Tamara got me so drunk, and she wanted me to make a fool of myself.
Right.
Now, whether she went to the hospital or didn't, it's the same story. It's the same thing, you know? So,
Well,
like,
and it's weird because she's claiming she didn't say she went to the hospital at the dinner, but she did say it in the car ride,
Exactly.
and that was a misspeak.
and that wasn't a misspeak. And then Shannon, interestingly, like, in her defense, tried to say something like, no, you do misspeak. Like, last year I said, Tamara, you can't, you know, say, you know, she meant to say what I don't do, but she said what I do.
Yeah.
Now that's a misspeak. That's a one word difference of that. Obviously, even when you hear it, you understand what she's saying. If you hear somebody say, did you go to the hospital? Yes, I was so drunk. I went to the hospital. You're not thinking, oh, I bet she actually meant she didn't go to the hospital. You know, like, that's not.
Yeah, that's not a misspeak.
A misspeak, you know what they're saying.
I think she's confusing misspeak with a lie.
Yeah.
And a misspeak versus sorry, I was not telling the truth or I was lying is way lighter, I guess, in her mind than like, yeah, I was lying.
Which I don't get. And maybe it's because she thinks
weird.
Tamara was sure. You think she would just say, you know, I don't know what I said, but just for the record, I didn't go to the hospital, and I'm sure I've embellished that.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then it would have been like done.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and then, you know, Gretchen goes on to say there were many things that were said that night. We were all talking shit about all of them, and something along the lines of Matt said that he knew Eddie was gay the first time he met him just by meeting him. And, you know, that's been a big rumor that's gone on for many, many years as well.
But, and, you know, and part of that, then they say, you don't want to bring that up because the only reason we said that is because y'all said you knew someone who walked in on Eddie with a guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like, don't bring that up because that's going to go straight back to what y'all were saying
Gretchen.
about Tamara.
Yeah.
Just like the naked wasted thing.
Kind of was like they maybe invited two castmates of Tamara's out to dinner to just talk shit about Tamara.
Oh, I think for sure they were. I just like, you know, and what it's like being on the show, you know, like, just bonding over all of that and having like, and again, not thinking this is going to be part of the show or Gretchen's even going to be on the show or, you know.
Well, and you know, Katie and them, they say they have the AT&T receipts. It's like, well, hand them over to Andy. Let Andy review them and be like, yes, they did call 12 times.
I'm pretty sure they showed it on video, his call log, and it said 43 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it says and just in the list view. Yeah. And all the missed call, you know, like, so I'm like, I'm pretty sure they did show his phone.
Yeah. They did show the phone and everything, but like from the actual place.
Print out from the records.
Like even, I think one phone call was 11 minutes. Like, well, what are y'all talking about for 11 minutes?
And the whole, like, that's some ironclad defense. Like, okay, what? They've literally only called one time? Like, they could have called 45, another call for 11, another call for 3, and you're just, oh no, we actually only spoke for 3. It's like, well, which call are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, muddy the water, bullshit defenses kind of thing.
I agree. Oh, yeah. And then Katie claims that Jen is the reason why she lost money this year. So I think we were all under the impression that Katie stopped filming because her feelings were so hurt over the lie detector test, no one believing her, you know, just everything getting pinned on her. But really it was no one would film with her, so production wouldn't film Katie, and then Katie didn't get paid as much this season because you get paid per episode. And she blames Jen for not being her ally because Jen would have allowed her to continue this season. And then when things switch for Tamra, then you see Tamra being more of an ally, and then now
and that's why she got to film that quick
with
bit.
Katie, and then now Katie can get paid for her episode.
And she wasn't saying, Jen, you were supposed to lie for me or defend me to them. She was just like, Jen, you were supposed to like be like, hey, let's not totally annihilate her. Like, that's all she was hoping from her. Of like, hey, maybe it's a little much for all of us to refuse like to film with her.
Somewhat of an ally.
For lying when literally all of us are on camera lying multiple times over, some of us, 10 years. You know? So, like, I think that's what she was wanting from her. Of like, dude, I needed at least one person to be like, this is too much. So we could keep going. And she didn't. She was scared, I think, of just any consequence of it.
No,
I was just like, I'm not saying anything.
She doesn't want to
sticking
touch
up for anything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just heads down and like get through, you know?
Yeah, I agree. So it'll be interesting to see how this reunion rounds out. Of course, they're leaving the big teaser of showing everyone the scene of Tamra being caught for spreading things to bloggers.
We called in our last episodes. Last 15 minutes of episode 3 is when it's going to come out.
Then that's going to be the hook for season 20.
Yes. Yeah, kind of lead into the story.
And big announcement, Vicky Gungelson is going to be back for season 20. When we were at the Bravos, Andy,
which we called as well.
Yes, Andy gave her back her orange, and so we'll be seeing the Tres Amigas back, but not back together.
Who knows? Maybe by the end of season 20, they will be back together, back on tour.
I mean, you never know at this point. But it's going to be weird having those 3 girls, Vicky befriending Tamra, then Vicky befriending Shannon and Tamra not getting along. Like, how is that going to play out? It's going to be interesting.
Hopefully, Vicky can be the peacekeeper and kind of bring them back, but I don't see it happening.
No.
I think Shannon's permanently done. Yeah. She'll never be that close with her again. She'll get along, she'll be fine, but she's like never gonna be fully, you know.
Okay, well, stay tuned. See you next week.
Thanks for listening.